So we should be live now. Yes, no.
It should be.
Yeah, I think we are. And
Yes, we are.
You are now watching a fellowship game called Mothlight, and we haven't quite got to the game yet because we've picked up some extra people. So we're going to have a go at introducing the new folks and filling in a few of the details that we may have missed last time. Yay!
Hoorah!
So, welcome. And hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Everybody needs caffeine. It's
Yeah.
So
Yes.
much.
Good evening!
If you were all over at my house, I'd make you coffee. Right, so last time we sort of found out that we've got a name now, so we're Mothlight, which is the name of the world that has been created for the purpose of this campaign. And Mothlight is a world that has no sun. Every bit of heat and energy is either warmth from the center of the planet itself or falls in the form of meteorites across the surface. The overlord for this fellowship campaign is myself. I am a character called Steel Mammoth, and he is desperately looking for better ways to harvest and basically what's the word? I'll remember it in a second. It basically control the entirety of the energy projection in the known area.
Monopolize?
Yes, that's the one! I knew it began with an M. Thank you, Logan.
The one with the top hat guy.
The one
Yeah.
with the top hat guy. It's the world itself has got a as far as civilization goes, we're looking at a pre-industrial revolution, but very close. There is some electric, there is plenty of magic, and yeah, mostly all geared towards harvesting the power of the light that falls from the sky. Or in some cases, possibly from the world itself, although there's some resistance to that, as we'll probably find out tonight. We met a few of the characters last week, but I'd like you guys just to refresh, probably starting with Jay and working up, because I always start with Jay, because Jay needs the least caffeine out of everybody.
Are you sure about that? I'm just used to operating on 0 caffeine, 0 sleep because I've got 3 kids. Doesn't mean I don't need caffeine.
Meanwhile, I'm over here sucking on a vanilla Coke like it's a baby's bottle, just for life.
Coke with extra sugar.
I know.
Okay. Well, I'm playing G297A3. Basically an assault robot developed to fight the Overlord. But he was never officially put into service. And he spent most of his time disassembled inside his drop pod. that's about all I can really say about it.
Yeah.
Moment.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. And we spoke about do you prefer Brendan or Ennis?
Either one's fine.
Brendan.
Okay.
Tell us about your dwarf.
His name's Vikar. He is part of a dwarf clan that goes out and hunts for the meteorite stuff to use the materials and sell off the materials and all that. And had a what did we wind up calling it then? Our company.
Finds the junk.
Fine.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, I think that was it. It was finds the junk. Because me and Dan decided that our characters would have been business partners at some point. And also, yeah, I was going to run with the idea that he knew the Uber Lord as well previously. Yeah, he's not entirely sure why he's around yet.
It turns out that I hired you guys at one point. That'd be great.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that myself, actually, because it would have made sense. Outsourcing.
And then we've decided on a name for Locus's character. That's Sakal. Sakal?
Call.
Sakal. And did you want to introduce a little bit about Sakal? I know we talked about him last week.
Yeah.
Last week? Last month.
Yeah, just about.
I've been poorly.
But Sakal was more or less a nobody. Worked at the local store in a little crossroads town, kind of place that's so small you wouldn't even see it until you're right on top of it. Jay making the memes.
You you called it Crossroads, didn't you? The little town.
Yep, that was the name of it. But just little podunk town, working at the general store. And then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. No.
Wait, I'm making memes?
It was giant murderous robots that attacked, which is arguably worse than the Fire Nation. But no, the Overlord's robots, for reasons unknown to Sakal, destroyed.
SOCOM.
Yes, SOCOM. Destroyed Crossroads. And in the combat, he was trapped in the basement of the general store. The building collapsed in on top of him and stayed down there for years, beyond what somebody should be able to survive through hunger and dehydration, until a crew of treasure hunters dug into these ruins, and surprise, they found a living guy. And I have to imagine Vikar probably shot him as soon as they saw him. It would have been very startling.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. But now free from this prison that he's been trapped in of the basement of a general goods store, and finding out that maybe his undeath has added a little bit of something to his abilities, and maybe he's not such a regular guy anymore. He's been traveling with the Finds the Junk company and making good use out of his new powers, while all the time harboring a very deep grudge for the Overlord.
Excellent. And being strangely charismatic, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he's got a hypnotic voice.
Right. So
Apparently
that
the
brings
se-
us to. Oh, sorry,
Well, I was
Lopez.
gonna say, apparently the secret to getting people to listen to you is to spend several years in complete and utter silence, not even talking to yourself.
You're gonna just you're just I'm just trying to think now. You're the Twilight version, but it's a zombie. Twilight
Oh,
version of a
God.
zombie.
Oh my god.
I don't fucking sparkle in sunlight, though. I actually just burn.
Well,
There is no
you
sunlight.
glitter a little bit, but that's just the fucking
Yeah,
decomposition.
Yeah,
I
that's just
just
my
don't
skin
know.
catching fire.
It might actually be good if he has like sort of a reaction to meteorites. It'd probably explain a little bit why he'd be with the group.
Well, he is vulnerable to powerful electric lights. That was one of the things we did in character.
Yes, that was. Yeah.
That and
yeah.
water, both of those will cause harm to him. So don't get the zombie wet, guys.
I'm just
melting.
Especially after midnight.
I'm just picturing them just tying a rope to him and kicking him down like a cavern or something and watching to see if he starts to glow as like a lodestone. He's just a giant
Oh,
lodestone.
God.
You know I'm like a flying lantern, right? Like all of that is super unnecessary.
Yeah, they just wanted to kick him down a hole, though. It doesn't actually hurt him, because I do also have the rule that, like, normal damage doesn't harm me. So they just want to kick him down a hole, because they're sick of hearing him be sarcastic for a while.
That hole's got your name on it. I suppose that brings us to our new characters. So would Darby like to go first?
No, she would not. I'm kicking it off to Dan.
Punt it down the road.
Hey, Dan, can you hear us when you're under that bus?
Yeet!
I just didn't want to show Dan preferential treatment just because he's
No,
the
it's
GM
okay.
for our other game.
It's okay. It takes me forever to get my head on straight anyway, so please, by all means, let me stall.
All right then, Dan. Tell us
All
about
right.
Finds the Junk. Oh wait, no, Finds the Way.
Well, apparently she's egotistical enough that she named the company as a variation of her name. No, I'm playing the Dragon, which is one of the expansion playbooks, like most of the party is. Should I go through everything like everybody did last week, or?
Well, has anything changed from what we discussed last week? Because I think we did go through because you jumped in sort of at the end, and nobody's done Bonds yet.
Yes.
So.
All right. I will jump in then with just kind of a general thing about the character. I am playing Finds the Way, the Dragon, and the particular option I picked was a Kobold Ascendant. And in this world, both the dragons and the kobolds are more insectoid than they are lizard-like. So Finds the Way is a little roachy firefly type creature. Who, in general, is to go with her agenda of unfettered ambition, sees fame and fortune wherever you can, is kind of a junk and things collector, to which she trades with the proper dragons, or really whoever offers it, for effectively either better stuff or magical power. She's not really a miser. She's very much of the, things come and go. But when it comes to kind of collecting power and becoming more like a true dragon, that's definitely the thing she's after.
Not to throw you off or anything like that, but do you want to talk a little bit about what true dragons are like in this world?
Okay.
Or did you want to wait until the end?
No, I'll throw a little bit about, because we talked a bit about this today. So as I said, true dragons are insect-like. So rather than, just the kind of classic big dragon, they are varied in shape and size. So for example, one might be just a giant, like very literal dragonfly in the sky, or one might be like a tunneling centipede worm that just tears up the countryside. But the key thing, the reason why dragons are so powerful, is they kind of bring a light and heat with them. Like they can create that inner fire, and which is something really not any other organism can do. A part of their life cycle is to burrow deep down into the earth and regenerate that fire, maybe just from being close to the core of the world. But there's definitely civilizations and settlements that have, in some way, either through kind of seeking the dragon's protection to kind of bask in their light, maybe if the dragon was, say, a giant firefly or something like that, or just kind of living off the scraps of the dragon. It's a more either indentured or dangerous way to live beyond hoping some meteorites land down.
Okay. Excellent. So I'm just thinking, let's keep going through the rest of sort of the character bits. I think the stats and stuff we can.
Oh yeah, the only thing is I'm cheating and asked for a GM exception so I could be a grace character rather than a blood character, because we have a bunch of blood heavy characters.
Yes. And the GM thought, yes, we do have a lot of blood characters. Have a go at Grace and let's see what happens.
I have taken him kind of the custom moves, because dragons have no particular core moves. They just have fully customizable custom moves. I have taken dragon magic to kind of represent the fact that dragons and the power that they've passed down to the lesser kobolds are innately kind of magical and powerful. I've taken treasure hoard, which you are rich beyond all reason. Add your dragon's hoard, 3 uses, either tagged useful or precious, to your gear to kind of represent her big old junk stash. I've picked wings of a dragon. You have fly on large, powerful wings. You require a running start, a fair bit of room. You cannot hover in place, but you can fly very far and very fast, because bug. And I'm still kind of up in the air on the last move, which I've been back and forth. I've been looking at either taking unique upbringing and taking one of 2 harbinger moves.
Oh yeah.
Either taking dark and terrible. When you denounce the deeds of another, you may take 1 damage to leave a curse upon them, tell them the nature of this curse and what must be done to lift it. Or wild speaker, you speak the language of beasts and monsters. When you try to speak to such a creature for the first time, they will always pause to listen and reply. You always have the chance to speak softly or talk sense with them. Or I might just take the dragon custom, A Song of Fire. When you call upon a true dragon for aid during a time of need, mark this move, pay a high price, and they will come. A true dragon, massive and powerful, will land behind you dramatically, let out a roar, do a single thing you ask of it. It will accomplish the task with little difficulty, although a threat to the world may escape its wrath. You cannot use this move while it's marked. When you recover, remove the mark from this move. So it's like a big, splashy spell effect, which we don't really have many of since we don't have a Harbinger or a Giant.
No. Yeah, I think I have a check mark under "Listen here, you little punk," which we may have discussed last week.
I did, but
last month, Nikki.
Yeah, I did, but character concept changed a little bit, and I'm no longer a blood character, so.
Yeah. Gosh, those all sound really good. I mean, you're little and tiny, and the Song of Fire coming from someone little and tiny
is hilarious.
It is.
It is.
But something like Dark and Terrible would essentially give her more flexible magic. And she just cusses somebody out and then something happens to them. Or the Wild Speaker is kind of the monstrous nature thing.
It does sound sort of similar to what Sakal can do as well, though, in that can't he say something and make someone have a very bad day?
Basically, yes. Because he's kind of a wisdom character. Actually, yeah, wisdom and sense. Really, he's got feed on pain, where more or less he's going to be kind of the tank because he can heal himself by hurting other people. And it doesn't even have to be physical harm. It can be physical or emotional.
Can other people hurt someone and he get the benefit from that?
No, he specifically has to be the one to cause harm.
You gotta be a jerk.
I'm gonna be a jerk.
There's a few other options there. Like, I was looking at Fire Eater as well.
Okay. Again, very small person. It'd be interesting if it was energy that she could eat instead of maybe instead of fire she just has rocks that she just makes her butt glow.
Let's get that glow butt.
Let's get that glow butt. Hey, can we just like add one to this that's called glow butt?
Oh my god.
Just think, like, if your character and my character had a weird love child, their entire body would glow.
It would.
It would also be a horrifying bird bug hybrid.
Maybe the birds are all
What's that glowing thing approaching us chanting "kill me"?
Yeah, basically.
A paracockroach or something?
A paracockroach. That's great.
Actually, it's 2 cockroach for you because no one appreciates that I'm not a fucking parakeet.
But you're a bird.
Toucan.
Okay. So now we've got Glowbutt under shared customs.
But yeah, I don't know if anybody had any opinions on what you think are cool for those.
I think Song of Fire.
Yeah,
honestly.
The little firefly thing calling in air support is kind of cool.
It does give me a chance to describe dragons more.
That's true, too.
That's true.
Here's the question. Would it fly down, or would it come up out of the ground?
I think either, or maybe they're by the water and it's like a giant water skipper.
Oh my god, it's a
I'm very much down with this.
I don't want to do the math of a giant water skipper. How much surface area it needs.
Jay! Magic!
No.
It could be very big.
Actually, I like the thought of a giant. Instead of insectoid, maybe sort of half salamander, half insect, something like that. It could have like multi eyes and stuff like that. This is a hellscape of a world. I didn't really realize, but I've made a world full of giant bugs. So I hope everybody listening who's not playing likes bugs, because
you made a world and then I put giant bugs in them.
And then Daniel put giant bugs. Yes, yeah, that sounds about right.
To be fair, I put killer robots in it too. So.
And Jay put killer robots in it, and Sakal's just mad.
Little birds.
And he's multi-armed because he's designed after the scariest thing, dragons.
all the birds are very tiny on this planet, but all the bugs are fucking huge.
Oh God.
All right, I will take the move. Make dragons happen.
Sounds good.
That
That'll
doesn't.
be a good oh shit button when we all blow up.
When you say make dragons happen, I feel like we need to change the rating on the stream.
Oh.
But the other thing,
no.
the other thing to that move is it does require a high price, which is essentially paying a price twice.
You can't just give them Kishi.
Hey now!
Sacrifice.
You're an all-star.
We're just like, look, it's another dragon. It glows too.
Now wait just a damn minute.
Offer it a light snack.
Did you really just make a light? Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Where are your secret kids, Bryn? Where are they?
Right. Okay.
For gear, so choose your armaments. All are melee and armor, one use. So I chose your blazing soul, enveloping you in protective fire. So she just makes glow happen and attacks that way.
Oh, so that's the glow butt.
Choose your fire. All are ranged, reload, and burning. I picked you throw fire bombs of caustic oils and reactive powders.
You're a bombardier beetle.
I love it.
My interpretation of this is so Finds the Way is a smoker, and she has a little silver cigarette case, and then she just kind of flicks the cigarette and then it explodes.
Nice.
Bueno.
Does she also put on sunglasses as she turns away dramatically from the explosion behind her?
Walks away from the explosion without looking at it.
Yeah.
There is no sun. They would just be glasses.
And then my last thing is the last thing is your pet, and I picked the Komodo dragon. Only it's not a Komodo dragon.
Is it a bug?
It is a bug.
What's the name of the bug?
The name of the bug is Rolo.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
I have an important, like, really, really important question. How large is Rolo?
Large enough for Finds the Way to ride.
Fair enough. Kishi will not be eating it. Good to know.
And large enough to put a whole bunch of packs of junk on. So it's a big rideable pill bug.
It's a bug of burden, if you will.
Yeah. We call them wood lice, but yes, it's a pill bug.
Which also, because I'm skinning a Komodo dragon, has one use of armor, which makes sense, and one use of venomous bite.
That's a new one for a pill bug.
Yeah, this is a fucked up world. Fucked up.
Once they get over a certain size, Jay.
Are these the pill bugs from Locust's game? Cause
Yeah.
That's a very different interpretation.
I don't know if you can
of
ride
pill
those.
bugs.
I love
but
Rolo.
that is all my choices. Kishi's turn.
Oh boy.
Yay!
So I'm playing the Squire, and I'm playing a little bird named Kishi. And one of the most prominent features on this creature is that there is no discernible gender. If you asked Kishi what gender they were, they wouldn't actually even understand what you're talking about. It's just a very abstract concept to them. So that's just completely in the air. On that note, any and all pronouns are acceptable. They don't give a shit. They'll answer anything.
Bird.
Bird is fine.
Parakeet.
Parakeet will warrant confusion. No, but basically Kishi looks like a small toucan with very long legs. Like if you think about proportionally, kind of like the legs of a jerboa, but on a toucan. It's kind of a quirky little creature, and visually the most prominent feature is that the entirety of the beak glows, and it glows with an intensity that Kishi can control, and sometimes it fluctuates based on their mood, but for the most part it's just at will. When Kishi's sleeping, it's usually the dimmest. And Kishi is not a very common species, but within the species that Kishi is a part of, whose name I have not established, they're very, I guess for lack of a better term, universally maternal creatures. They like to care for things, they like to raise one another, and usually, in fact, almost exclusively, they're found in pairs. Kishi does not have a companion. So Kishi is kind of desperate to have a clutch of some sort. And though it is unclear whether or not Kishi has the physical capacity to lay and hatch eggs or fertilize them, they seem very determined to do so. So the other important thing to note is that the glowing in the beak kind of harbors a form of magic that is very good at healing wounds, usually executed with little prods of the beak in a very ungainly sort of manner. Do you want me to just go through what I filled out on this stuff? Because I never did that.
Absolutely.
Okey-doke.
Yeah.
Well, on my agenda, I knocked my pencil off my desk. On my agenda, my fourth agenda that I follow is friendship is magic. And that means I'm making friends with absolutely everyone I can, wherever I can, because I don't understand personal space. My stats, I get a natural 2 in sense, and I put my other 2 in grace. I have 1 in courage, -1 in blood, and 0 in wisdom. For my purpose, I'm here to see the world. It says you're just here to go on a fun adventure. All this overlord stuff is just an excuse to see more than your garden, and you're going to make sure you see everything there is to see. Once per scene, you may ask 1 question from the look closely list without rolling. So that's fun. And then, let's see, next page. My Squire customs. I've got a bad feeling about this, which is when you're certain something's wrong here, you may ask the Overlord to tell you the safest way out and also the quickest way out. They will answer truthfully. And I also have Will Make It, which is your bonds have the healing tag, and you can use them by erasing them. Your bonds can only be used to heal the person listed in them, and only while you are by their side. This move cannot be shared. And I haven't really filled out bonds yet, because I take it no one else has either. And let's see, for my gear, see, the fun part about this was 2 out of the 3 options included things that I physically do not have the ability to take with me, including a sturdy spear and a heavy crossbow. I really thought about trying to find a way to bullshit why or how this bird has a spear, but that just wasn't gonna happen. So I have Under
what
Armour
did
and
involve her
bandages.
beak?
Sharpened stick.
No, it's your beak.
Oh shit, you're right.
Or
I
you
didn't
can,
think about that.
Or you could like hack up some beak magic, and that could just be the skinned crossbow.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Donkey Kong Country 2 style.
Can we mount Kishi on the crossbow?
No.
Please no. Kishi would like it very much if you did not do that. Nah, I'm good with the Under Armour, which is one use of armor, just because Kishi's extremely fragile. Anyways, not really meant to take hits, so I would prefer if I didn't die. My extra supplies that I brought, I went with some extra food, which is 4 uses of food, which may or may not be eggs that will be laid at a whim. We're just not gonna really linger on that one too long. And then after that, the extra luck I brought with me is the Overlord's weakness, although I don't know I have it. And that's Kishi.
You also, thanks to errata, get a repair kit.
Nice. I don't have thumbs.
I was gonna say, I'm really, since I'm the one person that really needs the repair kit regularly, please don't let her go through my wiring.
Have you ever seen a toucan play
No.
with something? They don't accomplish anything, but
Guys,
it's really
guys.
cute.
Guys, just let it happen. I want to see where this is going with the bird.
Suddenly there's a zzz, and the lights dim a little bit and the bird shoots across the scene. Some of the feathers are a little bit crispy, but we should be good to go after this. Just give her a minute.
Sokka walks over. Not gonna do that again now, are ya?
There's just a robotic voice in the background. Rebooting.
The Windows 10 boot up noise sounds.
This is once again completely up to Nick, but my suggestion would be to skin the repair kit as just Kishi powering up Kishi's ability to power something up with her magic.
Okay.
Beak
I'm-
magic.
Yeah,
Because-
I'm down with that if that's alright with Nick.
Yeah,
Because-
beak magic is great.
Yeah, because as is, she has no way to heal Gigi.
What
Mhm.
if she actually eats the kit and then suddenly she's able to actually heal Gigi?
What's the kit made out of? Did she just swallow a piece of metal?
Does it matter? Does it?
To an extent, yes.
It could be his programming manual. Can
She's not a fucking rat who just shreds up newspaper.
So
Her
yeah,
gullet is only so big.
just to read it, so essentially what that errata is where is it?
she has a bit of pigeon in her?
The squire adds a toolkit, 2 uses, repair, slow to their starting gear. And the repair tag, and this also for, because I believe Bakar took a repair, like a toolkit thing too.
Yeah.
So the repair tag functions like healing, but for robots and vehicles. Repair items can also be used to fix up damaged equipment, armor, infrastructure, technology. Use 1 repair can be used to restore 1 use of armor or other gear that has been fully spent, or return damaged infrastructure and technology to full working order. Most items with repair also have the slow tag. So if we kind of abstracted that to make sense for Kishi, she just could be like a battery or can magic things back together.
Fair enough.
Also, if she is the one that ends up actually releasing Gigi, she would also get repair items.
Holy shit, this bird is decked out in utility for no fucking reason. I love it.
So I almost think we need to figure out how in the world that beak works.
Well,
We could
so
also
far, all I've had in my head is that all it really takes is for her to tap something to be able to physically conduct magic into it. I mean, the whole point of the species is that it's a nurturing creature. Its purpose is to basically nurture one another. So those powers are more geared towards, like, I don't think she has the ability to, like, essentially cast a spell that deals damage. That's not the language that speaks. It's more about, like, utility and healing and regeneration and stuff.
She's basically got Fix It Felix's hammer in her face.
Oh my god. You're right, and I'm so angry that you're right. You're stupid.
Any of these companions could actually equal any of the companions in this fellowship. So, like, zombie is Sakal. Ogre could be Gigi. Small army is finds the way and is the actual business. It's the army.
Well, the square doesn't get companions, it says. The best part
No,
is that...
sorry, the friends.
Oh, yeah.
that's there as a listing for things to use and give later. Like those are GM tools.
Okay. All right.
I would also like to take a moment to appreciate the fact that the only companions I can have are horses, because I can ride horses. Just
really
let
just want
that
to see
visual
this dumb little
soak
bird
in.
just sit on a horse.
You ever see like those like National Geographic videos of like a zebra or a rhino, and it's got like those stupid birds hanging out on its back, and somehow they never get spooked off? That's basically what we're going with here. Except the horse doesn't know what the fuck is happening.
Or it's a really
the horse
good
is
horse.
a new egg.
Yeah, like that's kind of the bottom line here. You are all wonderful little eggs, and I love you now.
Right. So, I think I've probably got about 15, maybe 20 minutes left before I should really tootle off to bed. So I wanted to talk about bonds, mostly because after reading the book a bit, the emphasis is really on everybody sort of knowing each other pre-game. And besides finding Gigi, which is just too good an opportunity to pass up, should we talk about some of the bonds you guys have?
Sounds good.
Yep, absolutely.
The core at the moment seems to be Finds the Way, Fakar and Sakal. Is Kishi part of that group as well? Has she tagged along too?
She might have. It's very possible, I think. If I don't know her backstory in terms of geography, so I don't know like where she would have crossed their paths, but if she had, it's totally understandable that she would have latched onto them, because these are creatures who are not used to being solitary.
It'd be interesting if the way that she first saw them was in a way that made her interpret it as if they were hatching out of a shell.
Just like coming out of some rubble or something, and that for some reason triggers it in her head, and that's the end of that. That they're eggs now.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, if she was there when they found Sakal, that's seeing him come out of the rubble and pulled out by then. It's like, oh, egg.
He's the big egg. The first egg. The
so maybe
he's a
we'll
smells
he's
bad.
a bit of a smelly egg, isn't he? he might have been in there a bit
He's-
too long.
It's a stinky egg, but a good egg.
Oh.
It says 4 bonds. So maybe we'll start with Kishi then and see what kind of bonds appeal to you.
I think that if Kishi is the one who essentially boots up GG, the best place for him to be out of all of these, I think, is that he looks out for me, though it's really out of obligation and me asking and not so much a kindness. I think it's fair to say that Kishi has never seen anyone like Sakal before. Not entirely sure about Finds the Way and
Vakar.
Vakar. I forgot the last
Um,
letter. Okay.
You are completely. It is a completely okay thing to take 2 bonds or 3 bonds with somebody.
Oh, you mean like use the same frame of that sentence for more than one character?
Or like, yeah, or no, as in like you can think of like each bond you have as a sentence. Like you could take 2 bonds with, say, just to read it right down, you could take Gigi looks out for me no matter what, and I know I can trust Gigi no matter what.
Gotcha.
You could start with 2 bonds with Gigi.
Okay. So so you're supposed to have 4 total. Does that mean that takes up half of what I have starting out?
Yes, that would take up.
And then I don't fill out someone else. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
As somebody who has briefly played this playbook before, Cha gonna be making so many bonds. Do not worry about it. Do what feels right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think also if I'm doing that, on the note of the visual, I guess, of Sakal in her eyes hatching, I'm gonna put him down for I'd do anything for Sakal as well. And I'm flatlining on the 4th option. Mostly because these are implying that my character has more emotional depth than I think they really do.
Well, you can actually make up your own as well.
Ah, shit, you're right.
Yeah, just think of each bond as a sentence that describes a part of the relationship, a strong part of the relationship.
I like that romantically one for Kishi.
I know. I thought about that. I'm like, so who do I want to like completely victimize with that? And like have Kishi be like, oh, stop flirting with me. And it's like, you're a bird, shut up.
You
The
could
worst thing.
technically pick Rolo.
Oh my god. Oh no, that's it. Sorry, that's my decision. Alright, I'm done. Thanks, Dan.
Oh, Mr. Rolo, you do go on.
Jesus Christ.
The bug makes weird squelching sounds. Kishi goes, very interesting.
Once again, to kind of to give you the mechanical benefit of picking it with a companion rather than a party member is that, like, after I damage both of Rolo's stats, their health effectively becomes how many bonds are left with them.
Oh, nice. So I'm actually potentially saving his life.
Yeah. So every hit he takes after I damage the 2 stats, well, in Rolo's case, damage the 2 stats and the armor, then I erase a bond.
Okay.
And when all the bonds are gone, either if it's like a horse, they run away or die or what have, or if they're, yeah. So there is, it is funny, but there is a mechanical reason behind it as well.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Just brief semi-relevant question because this has been chewing on me for a while. There's a lot of abilities that talk about like erasing a bond to use some action. Is that actually implying that your relationship between those characters is vanishing? Because that seems really odd to me.
In a way, I think, from the few things I've read, but they're usually like essentially if actually we don't have an heir character, but if we did have an heir character, they could order the squire to essentially be a human shield. And that would erase a bond. So it's like an extreme thing from what I've seen.
And yeah, or in the squire's case, kind of the fluff or idea behind it is you're using the power of your friendship to heal or be useful.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that was confusing to me is one of the customs that I have is my bonds have a healing tag and I use them by erasing them. I'm like, that makes very little sense. Like, you like me less after I just helped you.
But it could possibly mean that it's a different bond that gets formed afterwards. Because from what you said, Dan, you get, as a squire, you get more bonds than you can possibly.
The other thing is your bonds mostly describe things from your perspective. So you could spend one of your bonds to do healing, and I could still have 3 independent bonds with you on my end.
Gotcha. So basically what I'm hearing then is, I'm just pissed I had to go out of my way to heal you.
That is one way you could interpret it.
Fair enough. I'll meditate on that. That's hilarious. This is all goofy.
I can't imagine Kishi being angry at anything, to be completely honest.
I don't think angry is the right word. I think puffed up would be a better word.
She don't get angry. She just gets real poofy.
Turns into a puffin.
My roundness is directly correlated to my emotional distress.
Well, that's why Lissa keeps changing sizes.
You're not wrong. I feel like making Lissy really small and cute when I feel miserable.
Oh. But yeah, other people do bonds because I just took up a lot of time.
No, that's fine. Thank you, Darby.
Yes.
So can you roll through them quick once more?
Right. The bonds for Kishi are Gigi looks out for me. I've never seen someone like Sakal some more. I never smelled someone like Sakal. I'd do anything for Sakal. And I think Rolo likes me romantically, but it's hard to believe. That's some fine Bugman there.
I like the way that his legs work in unison with one another. He secretes that mucus.
Bad romance, but it's replaced with bug romance.
Don't be romance.
Oh, this is gonna go great. Let's go backwards. Dan, let's talk about your bonds.
Should we write down other people's that involve us as well?
Just record your own.
Okay. That saves me carpal tunnel.
But not me.
No.
I believe the one that was absolutely decided was I often bicker with Vakar, but we would not last long without each other.
That sounds right.
I know we talked about this, and I'm trying to remember it.
Yeah, I think that was the one we went for on your side.
Yeah.
Did you deeply admire the Overlord's power?
No, that was.
That's my bond for.
Yeah. Because yes, that's the other thing, Kishi.
Yes.
You There will be a point in the Overlord where the Overlord takes a bond on you, but you get to pick that.
Okay.
Yeah, shit. I remember talking a whole bunch about this, and now I can't remember it. Right, and I believe I took another one that is she effectively thinks Gigi is very valuable, so should be protected. For the sake of, don't damage the merchandise.
Yeah, that would work.
Mothlight the flamethrower. Mothlight the lunchbox.
I actually think I took two with Vakar, and I also did the My Treasures Are Vakar's Treasures.
Yeah, that would work too. Would make sense.
Would digging Sakal out of the dirt be considered saving his life or making it worse?
I mean, living in a basement, it's not much of a life.
I mean, it's an unlife anyway, so does this question
All
really
right.
apply?
I will take that one then for our ghosty man. I was the one that found him and saved his quote life.
What's left of it? Sakal!
Yeah. Starting things off right, I'm gonna go with when Kishi tells me they do not fear me, I believe them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Are you actually
up there?
scared of Kishi in return?
A little bit. That's just because birds are frightening. They don't act natural. Bugs I get. Birds are fucking weird, man.
Is it like the opposite of a bug phobia? You've got a bird phobia.
Just a little bit.
Can you stop self-inserting yourself into this character, please?
I'm not scared of birds. I hate birds. Let's fix that.
Well,
right
okay,
now.
sorry.
Anyways.
There's distaste.
Oh no! I have a puffin person.
It's okay. I
I'm
actually
also
wanted
gonna
to,
go
Dan.
for my next bond. Gigi's fate is bound to mine in ways we do not yet understand.
That's a good one.
Next we have finds the way, found me in the ruins. That's actually a bond that you can have. And I've kind of been floundering on the third or the fourth one.
Maybe you're romantically attracted to the bug too.
No.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to be helpful.
I don't know. I am kind of having trouble coming up with a fourth one. Because I don't like the preset options for the character I have in mind.
Could it be like a remake of Gives Me Purpose When Nothing Else Does?
I mean, how would you phrase that?
There could always be like a blank shares my quest for revenge.
That's true. But who here would share my quest for revenge? I mean, GG.
Yep.
Yeah, GG would share my quest for revenge. Okay,
Yep,
let's go with that.
yep.
Not so much revenge as just utter destruction of
GG sympathizes with the fact that I wish to destroy everything the Overlord has.
Yeah.
Cool. And by the way, guys, you know, if in between when we actually start the story, if you want to go back and you've had second thoughts about something or you want to change it just before then, I'm sure, you know, we can do that before everything starts. I'll give you plenty of warning before I say we're gonna start the story now. So if for any reason you find no that doesn't really sit well with me, just let me know and we can change things.
I mean, I'm pretty confident in things as of right now. I think the only thing that I've changed is Suckle doesn't have a knife as his weapon anymore. It's actually going to be evil magic. Evil.
That's generic.
Evil.
I'm tired. I'll come up with something better when I'm not tired. When I am
It's
untired.
alright.
Oh, and also, I guess there's a group of kobold pokers you can take a bond with as well. They represent the hired help.
Oh god.
I got NPCs in my character package.
Oh my god. He's got a fucking posse.
They're all smaller. They all actually like those Russian dolls, so they all
Oh my god.
go a little bit smaller until there's like a little teeny tiny one.
And that one disappears mysteriously one day, but Kishi didn't need to eat that day.
I'm so sorry, Dan. I'm sorry for your loss. That's how Kishi glows, is that she eats dragons.
Oh my god! Why is she so morbid all of a sudden?
Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Kishi's actually like 3 times smaller than what she should be. She gets very big later on. She starts to grow as she eats more dragons.
She ends up like a fucking like chocobo or something. Just a giant mount bird. Knocking shit off the shelves with her beak.
One of her bonds ends up being eyes up, finds the way, hungrily. Anyway.
Further proof that birds are awful.
Sorry. Fakar, let's talk about your bonds.
Let's see. I was thinking of using Finds the Way is my drinking buddy.
Let's get fucked!
Exactly.
Most of these actually could probably be Finds the Way.
Yeah.
You two have been around for a while. It'd be interesting if she was also your rival.
I mean, competitive drinking.
Yeah, I was debating that one as well, if that would actually work, kind of the rival one.
You guys are keeping a little scorecard between the two of you. Nobody knows what it's actually for, but every once in a while one of you will curse and then mark the other side.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Somehow
Yeah, I like
Kishi knows what it's for and no one else can figure it out.
I kind of like the rival thing because it kind of demonstrates how they're from two very different cultures, where Bakar is kind of taking it very seriously and very competitive, and finds a way as like, my shit's your shit.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that one. Finds the Way is my rival and I theirs. For amusement purposes, I was thinking of doing Kishi Knows of My Secret Shame.
Ooh, juicy.
Excellent.
The secret
Best
shame
card is-
being Vakar also loves Mr. Rolo.
Oh my
This is
god.
scandalous! Also, I would like to just briefly point out that the bond isn't that I'm in love with Rolo, it's that I think Rolo likes me romantically, but it's hard to believe. So not only is she delusioned about what's actually going on, but her delusion states that this bug actually has a romantic attraction to her. She's flattering herself, really.
Little hearts. I think you've got one more.
Yeah. You said, Locus, you said Sokol's people have been around for a while before the Overlord destroyed them, right?
Yeah, I kind of left it ambiguous how long he was down in that cellar.
I was thinking about using Sokol's forefathers and mine knew one another.
That would make sense, yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Technically, Sokol could be one of the ones who knew your forefathers. He could
Yeah.
have been down in that basement for a really long time.
yeah, that was kind of the feeling I got. So yeah, we'll go with that.
You show up out of the ground like Billy from Hocus Pocus.
Kinda, yeah.
What
Bitch.
year is it?
Yeah, I'll
Right.
go with those four then.
Cool. I like those four. Those four are good four. GG!
Damn it, it won't
Jay-
work.
Your computer didn't blow up, did it?
It kinda did. Hold on.
Oh boy.
Alright, never mind. I got it working. There we go. Okay. Just a minor overheating issue, nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Would you like Kishi to tap it with her beak and make it better?
No.
And then zap herself and fling across the room to splat against the opposite wall?
So I actually have to start with a separate set of bonds before we get to the other bonds. More specifically, I have a thing called By Your Command, in which I need to set up a locked bond with the person who unlocks me. In this case, it's Kishi pressing buttons randomly, which would unlock Gigi. So in this case, like it or not, I must follow Kishi's orders. Being subservient doesn't mean he is not aware that she is a bird.
Sucks!
Let's see here. The easiest one is that Sokol has seen what I am truly capable of. Because robots like G29A7 effectively slaughtered his entire town.
Yup.
Oh, that's not gonna be good when you guys.
Oh no, you guys are Kishi's biggest eggs. You're not allowed to hate each other.
Gigi is unable to hate. So.
Or be programmed to destroy one another.
Nope. Not
It's
programmed.
okay. He's only after me. It's Sakal.
It's Sokol that would hate him. There's a difference.
Well, that's
Yeah,
a
but
good point.
Makes it really hard to It's really hard to emotionally harm a robot, is the thing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point, actually.
Yeah.
Well done, guys, in figuring that out.
Oh god, that's beautiful.
I want to put, I don't speak with Kishi much, but we understand each other. But I have a feeling
that's a good
Kishi
one.
would definitely be talking to him constantly.
Kishi's not great at using words. Kishi speaks in third person exclusively and very simple sentences. So if she can get across the crude meaning of what she's trying to say, that's a good day.
Okay.
Good luck.
I guess. The problem is now I have a bond. I have 2 bonds. I need 2 more. Kishi applies to a lot of these.
Yeah,
because Kishi freed me from my
creators,
creators.
but that'd be one that I'd actually take over. I don't speak with much, but we understand each other.
Okay, that works. I have a feeling that I'm not sure whether it'd be Seize the Way or Vakar who would be teaching me about the world. Not sure which one of you would be more willing to talk at the robot.
Possibly Vicar when he's tinkering.
Okay. So that works for that. And I think Finds the Way thinks I'm super cool because I'm valuable too.
But you are also super cool.
I don't know if anyone would treat him kindly or would recognize what kindness really is.
Kishi will try. Kindness to a bird might look a little different than kindness to a robot.
She's just stealing wires out of his chest cavity constantly.
And then giving them to him.
Nest.
One of these days, you're just gonna find a random piece of machinery and bring it back to a nest you've built, and suddenly his speech circuit works flawlessly.
Wow, I'm down with that plot twist.
Just it's a nest of wires that somehow works with the little disc that was inserted into it.
And suddenly he has so much shit to say to this goddamn bird. Primarily, please stop nesting in me.
That was not designed for that. Please vacate.
I suppose at least we have somewhere to keep the bird safe.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Well,
I have nothing in defense.
Well, there is a writing pod advancement option for gear. I imagine would just be Kishi's nest where she's just able to watch out through it.
See, I was gonna have her make a nest in Sakal's pelvis, but this actually works a hell of a lot better and is a lot less disgusting.
I'd like to state he doesn't have a pelvis.
What'd you say? I thought you said he did have a midsection.
No, he's got a chest. He's got magnetic bearings that attaches where his hips meet the center part of his body. There's no actual pelvis there.
No, not Gigi, Sakal.
Oh, Cycles. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, I've actually kind of changed his design a little bit. He's got a full-blown person. He just looks a little mummified.
He's got a full-blown person.
There's no cavities to nest in then, so I guess I'm back to Gigi.
Yep, you're nesting in the robot.
Well, that's...
Unless the call loses parts along the way.
Which is very, very likely, considering that pretty much, I'm going to be the tank. But I'm going to be a really fucking weird tank, since my way of hurting people is talking down to them.
Sassy tank.
Yeah.
The sarcasm tank.
Hey.
All this fighting talk. Oh, go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
I was going to say, if you can keep them busy, that means we can finish them because we have an advantage.
Yeah. No, basically, that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. Also, I can actually, if one of you takes a hit, I can just be like, no, I take the hit instead. That's one of the things that I can do.
Technically, I think I can do that too, except I'm not a tank, so that's a bad idea.
There's just a squawk and the bird falls from the sky.
What even hit her? I don't know.
Right. Last but not least, before I toot off, you guys get to decide what your bonds are with me.
What are our options?
I have one listed under my bonds, but that's only because I'm doing something weird with the character.
Does that have...
I was built by the Overlord.
I should probably write that down as one of the bonds that I have, actually.
Is there a list of these pre-made ones to choose from, or are we just winging
Yeah.
this? There
Well,
is.
Jay's gonna put it up.
Is this Overlord's Bonds, or is this a different one?
Yeah, that's
Overlord's
Overlord's Bonds.
Bonds.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. Well, straight off the bat, the top one is I destroyed Blank's hometown.
Yep, that's we can figure out who that's gonna be.
Sokol. Most of these played as Sokol.
I think I might have hurt Sokol's feelings, guys.
The second
Just a
one
little bit.
is I have caused great harm to Blank's people.
It's a shame that I can't. Can you, as the Overlord, can you make up a bond?
You could make something else up, but in general, the idea is that the players choose the bond, even though the bond you have with the players is an advantage you get.
Could I have? Oh no, it depends on. Well, will it have been a different? Will it have been the prior Overlord, the one that made? No. Will it have been the prior Overlord that destroyed Sokol? Because we don't know. We're assuming that he's very old.
Well, he didn't specify.
Yeah, it could work either way. I've kept how long he was down in that basement kind of vague, because it could either be a few years or it could be like hundreds of years. The character concept works either way, because fact is, after a week he should have died.
Well, I was just kind of thinking that maybe we dated at one point.
Oh?
Wait, I'm sorry, not Mr. Rolo? I'm sorry, I think you're mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this not
We're going
Rolo
for-
romance.
Bachelor number 2? Question mark?
Just a thought. Just because I thought it would be funny that this zombie's tearing halfway across the. But then that was what the Billy comment was about, was because I was thinking about that.
So it's an undead sarcasm machine on a quest for revenge against his ex-boyfriend.
I need to stop coming up with these kind of storylines.
No, you need to
I'll be
never
honest.
stop.
I'm a little bit embarrassed that I came up with this.
That's
I would like
hilarious.
to introduce you to my character. It's a fucking talking bird. You're fine.
Listen, you don't need to make this so easy to ship, okay?
But damn it, Jay, my brand.
Look with your special eyes that you don't have to do that.
I mean, I know what my bond with the Overlord would be.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I have the luck gear thing taken that I have the Overlord's weakness, I just don't know I have it. So I think it's pretty easy that I can just go with only Kishi knows my weaknesses.
But also doesn't know. But also knows.
Also, only Kishi has the capacity for my weaknesses? Question mark?
I'm not allowed to tell you.
Well, good luck
in
figuring
that
out how this
case-
bird figured out your weaknesses and no one else can.
If the bird is literally the weakness, I'm gonna go back to the bird on the crossbow option.
Kishi has words to object to that?
I have been reminiscing a lot about the Return to Oz movie, but I'm not. I don't think as much as it would amuse me to go down that route. I think I'll avoid that one. Fucking bird eggs.
Aerial bombing. Magic eggs. When the eggs run out, I've got shit.
It's actually bird shit.
Yeah, that's easier than laying an egg midair, let's be honest.
Bombing run.
When did this become Angry Birds? Okay.
This is the Overlord's weakness. Bird shit.
As
We
long as it's
found
not
it,
that
guys. Go
movie.
home.
The Overlord's just a clean freak, and we have to
Yes.
Their germophobia.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who doesn't handle breakups very well, as it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, destroying like his entire people is kind of harsh.
It's gonna be a real bitch when he turns up at the front door.
Just breaks down the door.
Honey,
It's time to
I'm
move on.
You're supposed to be
Steel!
dead.
Steel! You ghosted me in the most literal way possible.
Oh man, we
Sauce,
haven't
man.
even actually
Sauce.
started role playing, and the memes are palpable, and I'm so okay with that.
Do we have to end this one with a Smash Mouth song too, or are we just?
No, we're good. We're good. We can do this. We can do this. All right. So I've got Sakal and I've got Kishi. Obviously, well, I thought Gigi's people serve me now. I thought that was that one that we talked about last time.
That could work. Also, Gigi was once my friend. Depending on how you.
Oh, I like that one better. I think I'm gonna go with that one.
Technically, Jay gets to pick.
Oh, sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jay. Which one would you
Sorry.
prefer?
I don't know. The thing is,
Because there's the whole teacup thing as well, isn't there?
yes, there is, which is because he was never deployed, but he was upgraded 3 times. So I imagine there was a lot of late night tinkering going on. So I guess was once my friend works too, at least in Gigi's mind. Maybe not the other way. Maybe so. I don't know.
So now we have determined that Steel treats all his former interests as the same sort of disposable income. Okay. Finds the way. And Fakar.
I believe we were looking at secretly admires the things you do. It's like, as I said, I don't really want to play kind of like the greedy goblin kobold archetype. Like, I want her to be good at treasure hunting, but kind of cavalier with the actual treasure she gets. But she does have like a little bit of a power hungry streak. It's kind of in the kobold nature to want to become as much like the actual dragons as possible, and Steel is powerful.
Okay. And last but not least.
I'm trying to think now since the friend one is gone.
Oh, we did. We talked about that last time, didn't we? Sorry.
We can just switch it back to Gigi's people serve me now. Or used to, I don't know. Don't know if Steel would still use robots.
To be fair, you could if you wanted to do the friend thing, you could do that, or you could do something, like business partner, or even just something, as vague as Steel and Vekar once had a deal.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I probably screwed you over.
I think that about wraps it up.
It does. And thank you very much, everyone, for coming out tonight and helping me out with this. Especially Dan and Jay, who have helped me understand a little bit more about this. So what we'll do now is I will get a Roll20 going, and we can actually begin wandering around this world, wandering around Mothlight.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hooray!
I'll probably make it for a couple of weeks' time, maybe, just so that everybody can, if anybody's got plans or anything. I'll talk about it in the thread in the Discord, but yeah, we'll see how we get on with this.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a nice night, and thank you for listening, Kellen.
Yes, thank you everyone for coming out and watching. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we have Voices in the Wilderness, a 13th Age game. And then on Tuesday, starting at 9:30, we have Adderjäger. And Thursday, we have Shield Against Midnight. We just completed our 50th episode, so if you've missed the show before, don't forget, it's all up on YouTube. Have a good night.
Good night.